Hello, 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 hello. Okay, hello YouTube. I'm back to work. I am working on implementing some validators um, for site data, and I'm working on not saying. I'm trying very hard to not say. When you're recording videos, it becomes difficult to not implement or not incorporate pauses because as a developer, which is what I do with the vast majority of my time, it's almost it's almost all pauses. You have to be deliberate in what you do. So you look at it and then you think about it, then you start doing it. With things like streaming and talking to a camera, it seems more flippant. It seems more like you have to be able to come off the cuff and not be afraid of saying the wrong thing. And I'm worried that my speech will crash. Like I don't have exception handlers built into my speech capabilities, so I guess is my exceptional handling code. It gives me a moment to pause so I can speak, but watching my videos I can tell that it's unprofessional, or I guess yeah, unprofessional, and it's searching for it's searching for a solution that ought to be just fluid speech instead. It shouldn't be just endless pauses. So I'm working on that. I'm going to try to become more fluid in my speech patterns, which should be fun. It's a part of my life I can improve. I always enjoy that. Okay, so anyway, I just wrote this method. It's very basic. It's going to run a find against the collection in order to determine how many comments a user has posted in an article, and if it exceeds a threshold, I'm going to use that in a validator to prevent a user from posting additional comments. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Okay, let's save. Going to go over to the validators. Okay, so we're going to utilize that method in order to run a count, and then we're going to apply a validation. So let's do that. User ID, article ID, article ID. Believe that was, yeah, it only takes 4 parameters. Okay, so that should be fine. So that should give us the count, if my code is correct. And then at that point, I'm just going to stop execution. I want to see the return code. Okay, I'm going to comment out the rest of this. Okay, let's see. Let me restart the server. One second. proxy crashed. That's not reasonable. Alright, so if I post a new comment in here, it should just crash. And it did. And the comment count is 0 because I have not commented at all in this article. That's great. That's great news. Okay, so we set the type label, default type label. We're going to validate the type on this. Is safe integer. Nope. So this validator is very useful. I've explained in previous videos that it's tied into the actual user interface by way of a labeling system. So what I'm doing right here is I'm just verifying that the data returned is matching the safe integer definition. And if it's not, I'm returning a code of bad count with a little message here. It should go directly to the UI. So the next thing we do, we add another validation. Very easy. Add a count of too many. Is that friendly enough? You have posted in this thread too many times. You have hit the post limit for this thread. Appreciate. But maybe take it easy. You have hit the post limit for this thread. We appreciate enthusiasm, but maybe take it easy. Okay. So we're going to check if the max comment threshold is greater than the comment count. Okay. All right. So if we look over here in the post comment route, I've added the validator here. It'll take the comment, or not the comment, but it'll take the user details and the article ID, and it'll compare to a max comment threshold of 500. I'm actually going to change this to, let's just make it 3 for the purposes of testing right now. This is an internal development server, so it's not going to affect production at all. I'm going to change it to 3, and then I'm going to try making some comments. I have to change this too. Like in the dark theme, the text editor, the markdown editor here, is very bright. I have the colors set aside, but because this is an alternate project, I have to develop a palette to color all of these independently. Like I've colored the top bar here, but I haven't colored inside the text box yet. I just have to do that. It's something I need to do. Okay, so let's post a new comment, and we'll go over here. We'll go blah, 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 blah. Post comment. Fantastic. Let's do it again. Blah, 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 blah. Post comment. Okay, let's do it again. Blah, 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 blah. Post a comment. Amazing. Let's do it again. Blah, 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 blah. No, this one should give me problems. And it did. Validation not defined. 1931. I didn't create a new validation. I need to create a new validation set over here. We're just going to borrow that, and we're going to place it over here. And that should fix it. I have the server running in a separate terminal on the side, so you don't have to see me restarting the server every single time. Probably should bring it over. I'm afraid that it might print out something sensitive. In a prior video, I actually had a mishap. I had one of my configuration files open, and it was on the stream, and I had to end the stream immediately. It wouldn't have mattered though, because the server is firewalled off, so only a few static IPs can access the server. But it had the keyed credentials. I mean, they're long strings. It's not like anything you'd remember, but it doesn't matter. It was embarrassing. I rebooted the server, or rebooted the workstation, and when the code editors opened back up, one of the editors auto opened, and the auto open was to open the configuration files. I felt like an immediate idiot, so I'm wary. I'm already disclosing quite a bit over here. Yeah, fun is fun. Okay, so let me. Did I restart it? Yeah, I did restart it, so I should be able to do this again. Let's try and see what happens. Alright, it did not work. That's great, but why didn't it display the error? Response data is null. Max comment threshold is 3. Oh yeah, reasons here. Okay, good. You've hit the post limit for this thread. We appreciate it, but take it easy. Code too many. Very good. But why isn't it displaying the error? It should be displaying the error. Do I not have a... Uh-oh. And you can't respond to your own comment, so I can't test it that way. Okay, well I have to look at the network request. Let me move this over here for a second. Set it to XHR. So is it this one? Yeah, it's this one, okay. So it should be responding with some issues. Response data is null. Hmm. We're just gonna do nothing if no data was sent back. The reason I'm kind of and is because it should automatically be dumping the error message out to the page in the general position. Ready button, clipboard button, okay. Code message. So what's the type label? Oh, it's because I don't have one set. That would make sense. So we're going to set the type label here. And then we'll try it again. Oh, I have to disable the cache. Did I not? Oh, I didn't save it. Okay. I imported my MIDI collection. All great people should have a MIDI collection. And it was importing the playlist, and it shows I have 218 hours worth of music. It's good to have a large volume of semi-engaging music as background noise. It's useful because it doesn't throw you off of the code you're writing, and it's also useful because of the fact that it's non-repeating. You don't wind up annoyed. You can use any music you want, of course, but I find old video game music to work pretty well. Okay, I'm looking. Sorry, I'm on the other screen. I'm looking at error messages. Let me see. So validator error, error div empty, reasons. Hmm. Error div. Hmm. So the type label is passed through correctly. Let me see if that label even exists. It should exist. I will be somewhat salty if it doesn't. Ah, it does not exist. Okay. That would explain it. So I need to find that template. Hmm. Let's see. Post comment content. I should be able to just append a spam somewhere. Not spam, but span. So let's try this. So after the clickbar div, let's try a container append. This might look wonky, but we're gonna double check and make sure it works all right. There you go. So now, I can close that. Now when we take a look at it, it says right here, you have the post limit in the thread. We appreciate your enthusiasm, but maybe take it easy. So I'm going to have it hit the cancel button, and then it'll just display that. Oh, wait, that didn't work. Click to post a new comment. One second. Okay, so it should be here, not there. All right. So now we should be able to do this. But then also, no. I mean, that's what it's supposed to do, but it's... Oh, I didn't restart it, duh. I'm gonna have to do that and then clear the cache. Where's my error? I guess that was not where I was supposed to place it. Create new content submission editor. Let's do this. Not sure if that'll have any effect, but we're going to find out. This shouldn't actually need restarting the server. I haven't worked on this in a while, a little not too fresh. You know, I think it empties it. That's why when I click that, yeah, it empties it. So because it empties it, it's unable to find the emptied container. So I'm gonna need to yeah, okay, so let's look up here. Create top level comment box. Okay. This is probably not going to work either. Watch it work. It didn't work. Good. I think I have an idea as to why this wouldn't work. Click bar. Click to post a new comment. Okay. On click. Container emptied. This is where it is. Right here. Okay. So this is where we're going to want to add our div, our error div. Actually, probably want to do it over here. The reason we're going to want to do this is because we're just going to hide the editor when the error message comes through. We can get rid of that. I wrote this project so frantically that there's a lot of comments still in there. A lot of unnecessary code left behind. So that's the click bar div. Okay. Post comment, please wait. So we're going to just remove something. Hold on 1 second. I want to check something. I want to look at the simple MDE documentation. I'm reading the documentation over here. View on GitHub, yes. Documentation. I haven't had to remove a markdown editor yet. I've only had to... I mean, I can just remove the comment and the text area, but it doesn't actually really matter because this simple MDE itself, the simple markdown editor, creates its own elements on the page. I'm looking if there's like a destroy or a delete. Okay, I see. So if it's null, it's not anything, I'm going to simple MDE dot to text area. That should destroy it. Because if the users hit the cap, I don't want the comment box to still be there. I'm going to want it just completely removed. So let's get the text area itself. One second. Comment text box. Yeah, this thing has an entire button system that I created that you can add all kinds of different buttons within a click bar. It's really useful. It's a bit of UI design. I don't want to say I'm proud of it because I'm sure a lot of people can do this, but I'm kind of proud of it. It works pretty good. So comment text area, remove. That should remove the text area if I'm remembering my jQuery correctly. I love jQuery, by the way. A lot of people will crap on me for it, but I think it's a great tool. It is battle tested and hardened. It is useful. And there are because the web has become standardized over the years, jQuery has kind of found itself in a position where it's not particularly necessary, but it's very familiar to me, and so I find it very useful. Yay, it worked! You've hit the post limit for this thread. We appreciate your enthusiasm, but maybe take it easy. Okay, we gotta remove the click bar too. Gotta get rid of the click bar. Oh, click bar ref. I can't remember if the click bar has an empty. I think it does. Let's take a look. Yeah, it has hide. That'll work for my purposes. So now let's take a look. The reason I want to hide the click bar is because if you click cancel, it empties the entire container. If I empty the entire container, well then That's a problem because it makes the error disappear. But there you go. So if the user posts more than 3 comments, oh no, you can't post anymore. That's not good. Let's try it again. Let's check the console. Yep, appears to be working great. Very cool. Okay, I'm gonna check something. Hmm. Hmm. You have hit. Okay, so everything's working appropriately. All right. Okay, I'm gonna go use the bathroom. I'll be right back. All right, I'm back. Fantastic, fantastico. Yeah, I was walking down the hallway and I heard Adrian Marie, and I thought it was my niece. Her kids are over here all the time. I'm not gonna get into the details, but long story short, I thought it was her mother. They all sound the same. They're good kids. Okay, anyway, what do I got to do next? Okay, so I got that working. So when I was fuzzing in the last live stream, I realized a user could submit thousands and thousands and thousands of comments because I forgot to implement this check. But now this check is in place and I can adjust the limit. I'm going to change the limit from, let's say, what is a reasonable number of comments for a user to have? Max comments per user. I'd say 100. So this way, if somebody's posting thousands, they'll get stopped at hundreds. This, along with rate limiting, should solve most of the administrative nightmare that is dealing with users. It's a beautiful problem to have, but it is certainly a nightmare. Okay. So that's good. That's all good. Now, what other things do we have on the to-do list today? Let me check. Prevent users from being able to add unlimited comments to articles. Prevent articles from having too many comments. Okay, so I need to do the same thing, but for articles. I need to put a cap on the number of articles. The reason that I need to have a cap on comments in articles, like some sites will do selective loading on pools of thousands of comments. I do not want to do that. I want people just to make a new post. The reason for that is database load. Because I'm the only one financing this thing, I don't have unlimited resources. I don't want to be having the database struggle because I have to do a graph lookup every single time that the comment page is loaded. And while that's efficient and it's useful, it's still a whole lot of data that could be pulled at one time. Like if something got insanely popular, it could have tens of thousands of comments. And I don't want that because if I have to archive 10,000 comments or thousands and thousands and thousands of comments, however many comments, every time that page is loaded in the future, every time that archived article is loaded, it's going to have to load all of that data. I would prefer if live data was limited to maybe 500 comments per thread or maybe 1,000 comments per thread. That way my headaches would subside. Oh, the headaches. So let's do that. All right, so post article. Okay, so CAPTCHA solved. I'm going to have to audit the CAPTCHA system. The CAPTCHA system is actually based off of SVG CAPTCHA. I modified it because, well, SVG CAPTCHA is innately solvable. It's pattern solvable. Because of the patterns that it uses in CAPTCHA generation, patterns can be identified within the CAPTCHA output. So I modified the code itself, and I might submit it to the person who's responsible for SVG CAPTCHA so that they might update it. The way I've done it, well, I won't get into the nitty gritty. I don't want to stay on topic here, but I've modified it significantly in order to make it less easy to solve. The reason I'm using SVG CAPTCHA is, again, limited resources. Generating a PNG every single time is computationally intensive, whereas generating a text string containing SVG data is a hell of a lot more efficient. It's smaller in terms of data transmitted. It's smaller in terms of the amount of CPU usage that is required to generate the image. It offshoots a lot, I mean, it shifts a lot of the the processing burden into the browser client, which is it's minimal in the context of a browser, but it's a large saving compared to the amount of processing I'd have to do on the server side if I use the PNG solution or something similar to that, especially in JavaScript. If I were to do it server side with something like PNG, I would have to use um, a highly efficient C algorithm to generate the output, and then you run into the the binary module loading semantics of Node.js, which are I personally would not want to create a C module for JavaScript just to achieve increases in speed. And the reason for that is you wind up with later linking errors, you wind up with potential problems in the C code itself, and it's shifting things to a different language, so you have in like a secondary tier of dependencies. You have a secondary tier of, well, basically you two pancakes versus one pancake. Now you got to eat one pancake. Well, now you got to eat two pancakes. It's let's just keep it simple. It's one pancake. I'm not that hungry. All right, so we need to. It's gonna be right here. Now, what was it called? Oh, actually, it's not even gonna be here. It's gonna be here. So we're gonna validate article count. No, validate comment count. So it'll be similar to validate user comment count, but it's going to be validating the comment count instead. So this should actually be above this one. That'll take the same parameters minus the user ID. Max comments per article. And we'll say 500 comments per article. These are flexible, and I'll move them to a configuration file. I'll move them to the server configuration file. But for right now, this serves our purposes. So article ID, validate comment count in article. Okay. The downside of having a song library that is so long is that you're gonna wind up with a whole bunch of stinkers in it. I'm gonna change the song. And we're gonna shuffle. Okay. Wish I could still play the music, but YouTube isn't. I don't want them to think a 1990s video game is the same thing as a movie score from 2007. It's a strange thought when you think about harmonics and the nature of human inspiration. Like, you think about what people have been humming in their hearts for the entire scope of human history, and then you contrast that with the copyright system that currently exists. And if you've ever played an instrument, like I play guitar, So if you ever played an instrument, you'll know that you'll just be jamming and you'll be inspired to play something because it sounds like the mentality you're trying to present. Like it sounds like what your heart sounds like. But it's such a common thing that you often find a riff that you feel is original, but then you'll be listening to music and you'll hear it again somewhere. And to me, I can't see how a copyright could be held for, decades and decades and decades over an original creation that is spontaneously going to be created by others. Like, I would say that almost all music falls under the obvious banner, which is a litmus test for patents. It can't be something that is highly obvious and thought of by all people. Like you can't patent how to wiggle your toes. So why can you copyright a theme that is almost innate? And it'd be like saying you could copyright a phrase, and I'm sure you can. Okay, so let's go validators. Should be, oh, it's over here. So validate. Okay. So we just copy this one and we paste it above. Comments. Go back. Nope. We go back. Where in the world is it? Oh, it's up there. So get rid of the user ID. We'll go to articles. And go to comments. And we find the right space to put this. Look up articles, look up article set. So we don't need an article ID. Sorry, we don't need a user ID. Count comments in article. Yeah, that should be fine. Oops. Let me see where the handle is. There's a handle in here somewhere. Yeah, route ref articles. So article ID. This is just a handle. This is also just a handle. The comment and article are just handles. I have one class instantiated for all routes so that you don't have to continuously create new instances of these objects. You can just use them as existing code. Okay, so go back to the validator. Article ID. Let me just double check here. DB name, article ID. No, wrong one. Oh, it's going to be data validators. DB name, article ID, number of comments. Okay, validate account back. Too many comments. Oh, damn it. Ugh. Pasted in the wrong place. Oh, I gotta go down here and look at this again. Comment. Okay, that should be good. Let's double check up here. Validate comment count in article. Max comments per article. Let's say max comments per article is going to be 2. This will require a server restart, so let me do that. Let's post a new comment. Too many comments exist in this article thread. Consider posting a new article to continue this discussion. Amazing. Okay. So let's change it back to 500. Let's do comments per user to 50. Let's reduce that significantly. If a user has 50 comments in a thread, he's kind of going wild. I mean, of course, you have flame wars, and there's no point to the site if there's no flame wars. I found that's when people are having the most fun. When they're sitting around and yelling at each other. I don't want to create a hellhole. But I do want people to be able to have fun. That's the whole point of this. I don't like a lot of the sanitization that you find on other websites where people are just expected to be on their best behavior. I don't want that. I want people just to screw around and waste their time and have fun, have a good time. Okay, so these numbers, probably not the final numbers, but we'll keep them for now. These are just another two to-dos checked off the to-do list. Alright. I get another to-do list over here. I gotta make programmer friends in Hawaii. So hard to find programmers over here. They difficult. Okay, hold on. I've been checking everything off. So I don't have a lot of checks. Oh, okay. So I need to modify the proxy so that when the auto user posts, it automatically does tagging. Right now I have a command line application that does tagging. That was developed prior. In one of the streams, I cover it kind of in detail, but I'm going to need to extend it. All right, hold on, let me find it. One second. Where did I put it? Get this out of here. Here we go. One second. I'm just finding the exact code where the posting occurs. Where did I put it? Uh, the phrase OTTO is found in a lot of things, most notably bottom. You don't want to know what I'm seeing right now. I have a list of domain names, and some of them are porn domain names. And so it's just, it searched the entire domain name, and there's like millions of domain names in there. So, yeah, I'm seeing a lot of kind of funny URLs right now. Alright, let's see. So, where did I place it exactly? I think it's right here. Article poster. Yep, found it. Okay. Hmm. This is gonna be a bit complicated. Move this over here temporarily. Now the reason that this is going to be complicated is I'm going to need a database handle to the URL analyzer database, and I don't think I have one in the article poster class. It didn't exist when this was created. Then again, maybe it does. Hmm. Yeah, it might actually be fine. I'm gonna go over here and make sure that I don't have any sensitive data in here. Probably do. Probably already on the screen. Okay. I'm going to need Okay, so I added the tag gen to the, let's do article tag gen. The class constructor for the article poster that auto uses. Now I'm going to need to initialize this. You can't load tag data from the constructor because the constructor is synchronous and the loader is asynchronous. That's the one gripe I have about JavaScript. I wish the constructor could be asynchronous. Because if the constructor was asynchronous, it would be so useful. Because then you could load database data, you could load all sorts of things into the constructor. You wouldn't have to write a secondary init function. So load keyword set, load domain tag set. Okay, this should be easy. So we're gonna initialize it. I gotta find where it's actually, hold on. Okay, I found it. Okay. keep forgetting I have to keep these files all on this screen. I got 3 desktops while I'm streaming. I can only really use one. Or not 3 desktops, but 3 monitors. I have 11 desktops. I said I was moving it over. Now where did I put it? Oh, there. Move it back over again. I'm taking this code from the example application I built to test the tagging. So it's going to be this db's MongoDB. So this should work. So now when the proxy starts up, if the initializer is called correctly and everything passes muster, we should get it to immediately exit. Let me test that on the other monitor. Yep, and she works. Fantastic. Okay. I didn't mention this is all working in in the context of the proxy. The man in the middle proxy. Alright. So now I should be able to generate the tag set immediately. I'll put this over here for a second. Okay. Go down to the bottom. Oh, went too far down. Tag keywords. Uh-oh, where'd it go? Oh, there it is. Okay. set. Alright, so what I just did was I'm taking the generated article body and I'm processing it using the tag set generator in order to generate tags. If tags were able to be generated, it's going to use those tags instead, and if not, it's going to use the original tags. So the original tags are just static tags from the source of where the articles were found. And this should work fantastically. So I should be able to just kill the proxy. We must kill the Batman. And we should be able to... Ooh, wrong button. Login. No. No, no, no. And now I gotta wait for the thing to actually post an article. There's an article queue, so I have to wait to ensure that it's working correctly. But I don't see any reason why it wouldn't be working correctly. I mean, there's a million reasons why it wouldn't be working correctly. Let's not be overconfident, but it could be a problem. But likely no problem. Okay, while we wait for that, what do we gotta do next? Let me think. Yeah, don't need to think. I got the to-do list. So we got the robots TXT for the crawlers done. That's what I mean, the tag system. Things are being posted, but the tags aren't coming through. So we're gonna have to wait for quite a while. Because like I said, they're tiered. But what I do need to do is I need to push to production. Not yet. Oh, I need to modify the validator for username length. That's what I need to do. I need to set it to a minimum of 4 instead of 5. So is this the utilities? No, this is the utilities, right? No, that's the... This is the utilities. So data validators. Username length is less than 3. Username must be longer than 3 characters. Name 32. Huh, it should be fine. View profile. View user profile route. Username. I'm checking. User profile search. Look up user. User comment search. User article search. That's not implemented because it's implemented elsewhere. Hmm. Look up user. Let's go to the utility classes and let's go to accounts. Yeah, there's no length limitation on that. What in the world? So it must be over here. But it's not over here. Ah, okay. So 3 is the limitation here. It's good that I found this, because I changed it on one side and not on the other. Client data validators and server validators use the same code, but it's not explicitly the same code. I can't be shipping the same file because the validators change. The back-end validators are sensitive and the front-end validators aren't. It's good that they're both JavaScript so I can share the code, but I do need to update the code from time to time. So apparently I changed the back-end to be 3, but the front-end was 5, which meant that I was able to create the auto user, but only because I used the back-end validator, not the front-end validator. So let's refresh this. And now it works. So user account, auto account status active. Report this user. Yes, he's an asshole. Keeps posting non-stop on the site. What a jerk. I've said it before, but I have plans in the future to not have auto posting. I want the site to be user driven. The only reason I'm using auto right now, I'm using this auto posting capability, is because the site would be empty without it. It would make no sense to even exist if there was no content on the site. Okay, so we gotta wait. So something should post pretty soon. Let's see. Show by newest, yeah? I guess nothing is posted yet. That's okay, that's to be expected. Let's see if we can give it a kick in the butt. Uh-oh. I tried to post something and it flipped out. Okay, so that thing I said that wouldn't have any problems, yeah, it had problems. Article poster.class. Oh, I see. I see. I want an icy. Icy would be good. Like a Coke icy or a Coke Slurpee. Yum, diabetes. Yum, 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 yum. Alright, so this is it. Yeah, what happened was it crashed. The proxy crashed on the off screen. So it should post okay now. Yeah. Let me check the database. second. Yay, it's working! Yeah, you can see over here. It's gonna post this article, and it has tags that are non-standard, so that means it's working as expected. Okay, yeah, we're doing great, fantastic. Okay, so what else do I need to do today? Hmm. Let me check the to-do. Oh, I need to update the to-do page or the about us page. I have a hard time writing stuff like that. It feels cringe to write about yourself. It feels kind of narcissistic. I do not like that feeling that much. Alright, so let me check the website. Let me see the about us. I'm going to remove the developer conversations. And I'm just going to put a link to the YouTube channel. Okay, we have that. Static about us. And we can get rid of this cringe. I made an initial video about the website and kind of my vision, but it's so cringe because I'm not a video editor. I'm not qualified to do that. I mean, everybody's qualified to do that, but I'm not qualified to do that. Oh, proxy problem? Oh, the server went down. Gotta restart it. So let's refresh it. Alright, let's refresh it again. And then, yeah. Oh, I don't want to dig into CSS right now, so I'm just going to use the center tag. the old trusty center tag. A lot of people have problems with the center tag, and I understand it, but it has its uses. There we go. Click on this one and let's see what happens. Hey, there's our live stream right now. That's us. Very cool. And we got our videos. Got 2 subscribers. Unbelievable! I got my first like today. I have no idea how to feel about that. I'm kind of ecstatic. I went and I checked with my family. Said, it's not you guys, right? And they said, nope. Feels pretty cool. All right. So that's done. Now we go back to the to-do list. I did the terms and conditions. I hated doing that, by the way. I do not like doing things like that. Like, it feels like you have to have stringent legal verbiage. Is it verbiage or verbiage? Well, whatever. You have to have stringent legal verbiage in order to prevent legal catastrophe. And I personally don't like doing it. It feels like telling people what to do, and I don't really want to tell people what to do. Okay. So that's done. I didn't check that off as done. Modify user profile page to show both articles and comments. Got that. The CSS themes. I was originally going to do like 20 themes, but I decided I don't want to do that. I wrote an entire, like, I spent almost a week writing a tool that automatically processes CSS files. And it's really useful. It's cool because it'll allow you to arbitrarily set properties and things in CSS files by identifiers. So it can search an entire CSS. Well, I'm not going to tell you about the tool. It's a cool tool, but while the tool worked fantastically and it was able to generate palettes, it just seemed like too much to generate a whole bunch of themes. I would rather just have a dark theme and a light theme. Everything else you can use Stylus, which is a cool plugin, to install your own styles if you want. So because I'm using palettes, it should be incredibly easy for you to write your own theme. Okay, so we got that done. Advertiser portal, that'll be in the future. I need to have a donations link and a Bitcoin wallet link, because I don't even have a Bitcoin wallet. Because I'm going to need money to keep this thing going. I feel gross about that too. I'm not really big on begging. But if I want this to work, I'm going to have foundational support. Okay, web server config files, yep. Got GeoIP working. Some of these are unnecessary. Create a Puppeteer tool to visit and parse my own pages. That seems like a bit of overkill. I was going to add a significant amount of moderator and admin tools, but I don't want to add them in. It adds an additional surface area for attackers to attack if they're going to try to attack the site. I would rather just do that on the side, which I am doing. Like, I use an entirely different channel. Like in network security, there's the term surface area, and I guess it's for anything really. If you provide a surface area, expect it to be susceptible to prodding. Like, if you have a piece of land, expect that people are going to walk on it. So the best thing you can possibly do in security is to not even provide the attack surface in the first place. If it's impossible to log into the website as an administrator with any sort of privilege, well, the administrator accounts can't get hacked. If the administrator accounts aren't there, then what are they going to do? They're going to have to they're going to have to find a hole in the software itself, not in the code that I've written. Yeah, they'd have to find like a hole in one of the most foundational projects on the internet. They would have to be able to exploit the web server itself. And I'm not saying that's outside of the realms of possibility. That's definitely within the realms of possibility. But it's, as far as the surface level goes, it's much deeper to attack a known and well-regarded product, a very minimal product, than it is to attack a custom web application. Custom web applications are notoriously faulty with regards to their security. And I'm not going to say I'm perfect, because perfection is unattainable. But I do my best. Okay. Let me look up here some more. I'm reading through my to-do list on a different computer right now. Load comment filtering. Okay, so comment filtering exists. Article. Oh, article links cannot point to the site itself. So that is something I don't think I've implemented yet. Yeah. Okay, so the tagging is working now. So I can take all the ones I missed. I can run that through the tagger again. And yeah, okay. And that should cover everything. Now, from now on, articles should always be posted with tags. I'm thinking about making the dark theme the default theme too. I don't know a lot of people who like having their eyes burned by white pages and white backgrounds. But I don't want it to seem like the site is edgy. I just want it to seem like the site doesn't want to burn your eyes out. Alright, let's see. Okay, yep. Tagging works. I'm so sick of this. I'm so sick of politics. I know how incredibly important it is. But it seems like as long as I've been alive, rallying the people to one side or the other was just to attain power needed to screw them over at a later date. So no matter who's in power, it feels like it's a bit darkening of the soul to think about it and then just be presented with it constantly. But it is fun to yell about. I'll give you that much, which is why I'm allowing it on the website. There would be no way I wouldn't allow it. Getting pissed off over who your favorite politician is. Really one of the greatest sports ever. Okay, so let me try to post a new article. Blah, 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 blah. Blah, blah, blah. Let's just do automotive, whatever. TPWTX. And let's give it a rating of 4 stars. It is HTTPS. Yeah, okay, so links can point to the site itself. Okay. When I get back, I'll work on that. I'm gonna get up for a second, stretch my legs. I'll be back in a moment. Okay, I'm back. Let's talking to family. Family is important. It's probably the most important thing in the world. A lot of people don't really take that understanding to heart, but family is truly, 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 and deeply important. I mean, some people don't exactly have the best family, so I can understand. But to those that do, you cherish them and you take care of them as much as you can. And give your life for family. That is a worthwhile cause. Okay. Give me a second here. I'm reading. Hmm. Okay. Alright. So how are we gonna do this? We have to go to the article poster. Not the article poster, but the article or post article route. And we need to add an additional validator. Now, did I parse the URL before this point is the question. Article link. When exactly do I parse the URL? Do it over here. So we're going to need to parse the URL further up in the logic. The reason we have to parse the URL first is we're going to have to compare the parsed out domain with any of the domains we have in our list of vhosts. So the configuration file itself has a list of vhosts in it which are applicable to this website, and we're going to need to examine the configuration and ensure that the article link isn't within the vhost that's being posted to, or any of the vhosts for this website. That shouldn't actually be too hard. It sounds complicated, but it's not because of the way that this was designed. Oh, wait a second. I was gonna get a soda, but I didn't get one. I need a Diet Pepsi. I'll be right back. Taking too many breaks. Oh my god. All right, back in business. Yes, sir. Chia. Someone in the house is just complaining about the mail costs going up. Price of the mail stay going up. Ugh, everything going up. Never go down, always go up. Piss me off. There was a brief time in around 2001 where the price of gas went all the way to the ground. Was 98 cents, 97 cents a gallon for gas. And everybody was cheering, and it was the age of the SUV. I remember that. That was the only time in my life I can remember when instead of prices going up, they went down for a brief amount. And what a blissful time that was. I was so optimistic too. Like in those years, I was like, wow, could this be possible? Could the future be bright and sunny? The naivety. What a goober. Alright, so data validators validate article link. It's going to be in here. But to do this, I'm going to need to look at the web server. So it's going to be okay, so I need to open the web server configuration, which is dangerous. I don't want to have it on stream again. Alright, production configuration. I should just edge them over. You can kind of see it. Maybe if you magnify that all the way, you can see. Living on the edge. Some artist will probably do it. I'll probably get owned in the future because of that. Thank God for firewall rules. That's something very important you should do for all of your servers. They should only be allowed to talk to who they're supposed to talk to. Like on a network level. Okay. So it's going to be web server. And then it'll be config. Dot extra dot v hosts. So we're going to add a disallowed host list with the vhosts that are present within the website configuration. And we're going to ensure that when a link is submitted, none of the links submitted contain hosts matching this list. In the future I can expand this list, of course, but for right now I'll just use the vhosts. It's a good song. So sad you cannot hear him. You guys should play your own music. I can't get over that freaking YouTube. And I put in what was it? Like a dispute. And they just denied the dispute. They said, no. This 1990s video game is from Enter the Dragon, the movie. And these 5 seconds here are the seconds. And yeah, no, go to hell. The copyright system is so broken in this country. It's just a broken concept in general. I was talking about that earlier. And I get it, you want to be owner of your creation. But I think some things just can't be thought of in that light. And music is definitely one of them. Especially when you're saying, oh, well, these 5 chords. Like if you're talking about like a 7-minute song, Or like even a 5 minute song. Yeah, sure, copyright that. But you're talking about 7, 8 chords or a chord progression. Nah, those should not be copyrightable. Alright, so I need to go to the validators. Well, I'm going to have to pass in the parsed URL as well. Did I go too far? Yeah, I went too far. No, data validators is going to be in the utility classes. Okay. It looks like it already parses it in here. Where does the parsing happen? Okay, so it happens here. So because we're passing in a parsed URL, we'll just be repeating. So we'll try to parse it out again if it's not already parsed. Parsing can be expensive depending on the length of the URL because it doesn't just parse it, it does a number of counts and it sorts things into easy to use formats. If you don't have to do it twice, you ought not do it twice. So has password, so no IP links, unsupported top level domain, non-standard HTTP ports, contains disallowed words, check for disallowed hosts. So I'm just going to dump the parsed URL here so I can take a look at the format. One second, I gotta restart things. Canceling your credit. Yeah, I made a video about this today. Actually. MRTQH. And it crashed. That's great. That's supposed to happen. So now we see if the host name or if the host without subdomains are within the disallowed set, and if they are, we'll return a validator error. We'll do this. And that should fix everything. Let's get rid of this. This is why it's important to have a defined validator set, because as you develop your project, you're going to have to do validation constantly. If you just do it inline, if you don't have an implemented validator solution that is integrated, you are going to cause yourself so many headaches. Ask me how I know. Ask me how I know. So, so many headaches. Okay. Let's see. Let's try this again. Let's submit it again. Yep. Posting links from this host is disallowed. Irate fun. The reason that this worked, and I didn't have to re-enter the CAPTCHA solution again, is because the CAPTCHAs are valid for a page context for a period of about 5 minutes. It has to do with the stateless design of the project. It's a little chink in the armor, but because the website is stateless, I had to make some concession. It might bite me in the butt later. We're gonna find out. So this doesn't look great. I should make this color lighter. Let's see what color that even is. User error. So let's go to the website and let's go to the CSS styles. Where did I put them? Should be under static. Classes. IRF default theme. Hey. Oh, is it this one? That's the class. Should be here. Was it validator error? Yeah, C palette 85. So I need to go into the dark theme. Palette dark, and I have to find this one. Yeah, there it is. Let's make it quite a bit lighter. There. Now let's refresh it. Title, that looks a hell of a lot better. Okay. Yeah, fantastic. Links cannot be empty. Title must be longer than 15 characters. Yeah, that looks great. Now let's try this. We'll try the staging site and make sure it works. Crime. Posting links from this host is disallowed. Okay, check another one off the box. Oh, another TODO done. So what is this? User content markdown. Markdown is supported, but I'm gonna have to look at the markdown API itself. I looked at it in the past, but I haven't revisited it since I made modifications to it. Okay, password, reset UI, that's done. Okay, allow user to geolock password resets. No, we can't do that. And that would be too much for them. Okay, we did that one, didn't check it off. Should have checked that off. That's done. Security issue logger, that's done. I didn't... The problem is when you start working on to-dos, you usually just bang out a whole bunch at a time. And then you forget to mark that they're completed. You can't see this right now because I have it on a whole separate computer, but I'm looking through a very long list of things. Validators are done, firewall rules are done, Cloudflare firewall ports are done. There are so many things that are done. It's kind of daunting when you look back on a website or on a project. There are so many projects, but when you look back on a project and you see exactly what it took to make this whole thing work, especially if you're the only developer. Like, what I do is a lot dissimilar to what others do. I tend to bite down really hard on a project and work until my fingers bleed to make everything work. And that's really the only kind of programming I like. I don't like piecemeal programming. Writing small snippets of code does not bring me any sense of excitement or joy. Getting deep into something wild is the kind of stuff I like. Alright, so my to-do list is just about done. Christ. So I need to pretty some things up, I know that. And there's 2 more I gotta check off. So let's go look at what we can pretty up. Alright, so I know content filters is dog shit ugly. You know, it's actually not. It looks fine. Yeah, it looks great. So we'll add a username filter of auto. Stupid auto. And we're gonna make it a literal, and then we're gonna add a new filter. So now auto is blocked. When I go to the front website, yep, auto is gone. Yeah, it works. And we go in here and we delete it. Go over here and we click it again and... Hey, wait. What's going on here? I deleted it, right? Oh, no. Oh, wait. Delete selected. Yes. Okay. Yeah, it works. Okay. I wonder what just happened. Ooh, this doesn't look right. This button size and these buttons are a little off. Oh, wait, let's go. Add new filter. Okay. Go over here. Auto's gone. Come over here. Select this. Delete this. Now auto should be back. Why is auto not back? I think after you add a user, it has to refresh the page. Ah, that's a bug. Huh. Alright, let me mark that down on the to-do list. Fix the username block / filters so that deletes happen immediately. It is very hot today. So what happens? Yeah, I could not, most likely a duplicate. Okay, good, that works. Let's see if it's throwing any errors. No, it is not throwing any errors. What? What indeed? And I can delete it now. Now this isn't actually happening in the database. This is happening on the local computer in the browser. So it's not going to be a server-side thing. Let's see. Let's just search for this. This is going to be in a template, so I can just find it easy. Never underestimate the find command. So add clipboard. So that's export. It's to export the filters. That's the import filters. Okay. So this is the tabulator. So where's the DB delete user button? Okay, let's try this. But how would that be possible? How would it be possible that I'm able to, like, for example, here, let's do this. I'll refresh this. Come on. OTTO, blah, blah, literal admin filter. So if it was unable to find it when I click the delete button, it shouldn't actually delete it, but it does. So I know that's not the problem. We'll leave that comment there anyway. So let's just do this. And then let's network, and then let's reload. We'll delete this guy here. Let's reload it one more time. So it should tell us we're deleting something. So deleting what? Ah, deleting undefined. Okay, so that makes sense, because if the primary key array is not being set, then of course it wouldn't work. So when the selected data is added, okay, so if it's stored okay, user filters data, add data. Okay, let's just do a location reload here. This should fix it. Because if not, we're going to have to add the filter. But you know, we could just add the filter ID right there. Because ID is hidden. Row selection. Okay, so that's the formatter. Columns. Field. Where's the field? Is there a hidden one? Username field is filter. Filter type. Store user filter, okay. Filter is filter. Filter type, filter comment, date is new. You know what? This should work. This should be working. Why it's not working is not making a whole lot of sense. I think it's because, yeah, I have to reload. Because when it's pulling these, it's pulling an ID. And while it's mapping here, it's not mapping everything. It should also be mapping ID. Can I make a hidden column? Let me see. Tabulator, hidden column. Tabulator is a tabling product I'm using here. It's a useful JavaScript table solution. Tabulator, hide column. field ID, header filter, editor input. It shouldn't have any of this. It should just be visible false. So now we pray. Selected data IDX ID. So after storage, well, you know what? Let's just try it right now. It should reload after adding something successfully. So we'll delete that, delete auto, and then re-add auto. Add something here. Then yeah, it reloads, and then auto's there, and then when we delete, it should work perfectly fine. Auto should be there, yep. Unacceptable. Filter, filter type, user comment, date. Let me just double check up here. Filter, filter type, user comment, date. Okay, so I need to add ID. So we're gonna look up user filter by name. Yeah. IndexedDB is so cool. It lets you essentially have a database within the browser itself. It's not like SQL, and it's not like a document object store. I mean, it is a document object store, but it's not as complex as one would want something like Web SQL to be. But you can have indexes, and from those indexes you can store and search data. I wish it was more advanced, however. The primary JavaScript handle for IndexedDB that is used by most people is Dexy, if you ever wanted to use it. Okay, hold on. Let's see. Okay, so let's just display the lookup filter. I don't need to write that twice because I've just written it once. Let's remove the reload. I want to see, it should be just a .id, but I want to make sure. Years and years of programming has made me want to always make sure. Looked up filter. ID, yep, it's just .id. So by adding this ID field, we should, when we click delete, be able to actually delete data without having to reload. Should be perfectly fine now. Alright, now you cross your fingers and you pray. Delete. And then let's go. Add new filter. Auto is gone. click and delete. And auto is back. Yep, fixed it. That's a bug off the list. Haha. Alright. What next? So if this bug exists here, I'm sure it exists in the content filters as well, unless I was smart enough to fix it and then not come back and fix this one. Let's find out. Well, actually, we gotta get rid of our comments. Make the code pretty. I'm gonna take it to the prom one day. Alright. Ideally, this would return the ID, but I don't want it to. I want it to just be a Boolean flag indicating whether or not things are stored. Oh, let's go up here. We can delete this comment now. We can get rid of that, and then let's get rid of that. Sometimes I leave large comments that have sample code in them. We can get rid of that. We'll leave that comment. We want to be able to see if something's getting deleted. Get rid of this. Free up the space. And we don't even need that return statement. That's unnecessary. And we'll get rid of the what. Don't need the what. Those comments are from when you're working at 4 o'clock in the morning and you're like, what in the world is happening here? Okay, so, yep, that's fine. Alright, so we go to content filters next. So content filters are different. Content filters can filter out titles and all kinds of stuff. So let's do Princeton. In the title, literal match. Add new content filter. Hey, this button's the right size. How come that button's the right size? What did I do different there? Hey, wait a minute. Princeton. To title, it's a literal match. That should have removed it. Ah, bugs! Literal target. Should I do... You know what? This might be a regular expression. Yeah, the bug's still here. The bug's in this one too. Okay, yeah, so let's do... Comment, blah, 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 title, regular expression. Let's do that. Wait, I don't think I need the slashes. Delete, bug is here. Refresh, delete. Blah, 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 blah. Let's try regular expression. In the title, yeah. Add new content filter, yeah. Okay, great. Please work. There we go, it worked. I was worried for a second there. Don't want to be digging too deep. So let's search for this. And we know exactly what we need to do. Ah, okay. So I do have a location reload here. Oh no, this is for saving. This is for saving. This is totally different. Oh, we can get rid of the test. I need that in the future, but let's pretend we won't. ID capitals. I should move these over one. Always line up your columns. Save yourself a headache in the future and crossed eyes and blurred vision. And save yourself problems where you can. That is sage advice. So this is all correct. But this over here is also correct. But we need to add a lookup. Content type, filter target. Now I want to look up by the filter. Look up all records. I get Zooks. This is a lot of code I had to write. That's another thing that's kind of fun. You go back and look through all the code you've written, and you can be legitimately proud. Like, a person oftentimes... Oh, I'm not proud of leaving these comments here. A person will oftentimes find themselves in despair due to the existential circumstances of living a normal human mortal existence. The cure for despair is to look upon what you've wrought in the world. Like, what did you actually do? And these things, they fuel my internal sense of positivity. They make me feel like maybe this is all futile, but at least in futility, I was capable of creating something neat, something interesting. And of course, you don't just use this, you use the positive effect you've had on people, you use what you've been able to do for people. You use a lot of things, and it staves off despair. Like it makes it possible for... Oh wait, I went too far. It makes it possible to have an outlook that is positive in a circumstance that is bleak. Oh, look up content filter by filter content. This is the one I want. This is the one I want right here. Filter content. It's just going to be filter. And we're going to use this. Take this, and we go here, and we go ID, and looked up filter.id. And now we're in the money. Bug should be fixed. If you want to align things, Alt-A is the key command to do so. So you don't have to do everything by space. It doesn't work for everything, but it works for objects. Okay. Bada bing. Oh. I had to cough there for a second. Alright. So now if we refresh the page with the cache disabled, should be able to add a should be able to hold. Let's delete this first. Let's go prints. Well, let's first make sure that the article is back. Princeton, okay. So we'll go blah 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 blah, and we'll go regular expression, add new content, go over here. Princeton is gone. Ganzo. And then we click this and delete it. And Princeton is back. Alright, we squashed the bug. We squash 'em. We kill 'em, the bug. We're gonna throw 'em in the emu. We're gonna eat good. For people that don't live where I live, when emu is on fire pit in the ground, usually use them for cooked pig. Make Kahlua pig. Oh, Kahlua pig so good. So now I have to figure out why this delete button and the other delete button are the wrong sizes. That should be easy. It's probably just the wrong class. So delete selected. So we're already in the delete button. Add new content filter button. Gotta go all the way back up the template. And it's going to be click bar button blue. Of course it's not blue. It was blue. But because of the palette system that I implemented. Hold on. It's no longer blue. Hey, wait a minute. Click bar button blue. Add new content filter, and this is for... Nope, still the wrong one. Let's go delete selected. Hey. It might be in a template. Click bar button blue. Oh, okay, so it's gonna be A. It shouldn't actually be a button. I think I wrote this long before I had the click bar. The click bar capabilities. This probably won't work. Yeah. Oh, I need to go and I need to transmute this. So delete selected. Value delete select. Something weird going on. Oh, I'm a stupid idiot. That's what's wrong. This should be here, and this should be gone. Now, ta-da! They're the same color. The spacing is a little off, but I'll live with it for now. They are the same size and the same color. Perfecto. Let's just double check. Yep. And then we go content filters. Yep. Okay, so that's some bugs squashed. So go back to the profile. Let's look and see if there's anything weird that we want to get rid of. Account status active. Your articles. There's my article. Okay, my comments. Oh God, don't read my comments. And we know these work. And then account recovery. Let's see. I remember this looked like ass or something. Add account. No. Disable account recovery. Okay. Well, I'm glad I disabled that. I'm glad nobody watches this. I could have known my account recovery password and taken over this account. Oh no, the test account. Lord help us. Okay, so this looks alright. So account deactivation, deactivate account. Yeah, that's fine. Local data management, clear page context databases. Yeah, that looks fine. Everything looks fine. Oh, the horror. Oh, that means it's just done. The site is done. I don't know what to do next. I'm gonna have to go and get a list of things. Well, this doesn't look great. Like when I see it's all squished up over here. When I go over here, it's not all squished up. Aha! It's not done. Let me see. You know what? That might not actually need to get fixed. That could be just a feature. Let's click that. Neat. Let's just click cell phones. Neat. Nubba nubba dubba neat. What is this? Oh, it's Path of Exile. It's a great game. Well, now that everything's done, I think I might just go play that game. I'm sure there's other stuff I could do. Now that this is done, I might go back to writing security tools. That's what I normally do, and auditing things. I need penetration testing clients, but I'm kind of over penetration testing, if that makes. It's a crazy thing to say. It's just that I've done it for so long. I found so many thousands of bugs, and to me, it's a hard career path, because if you have a soul, you know, I mean, yes, you're making the software more secure, but the entire industry is predicated on the concept of embarrassment. So you're taking a programmer that doesn't have perfect capabilities, who's stressed and overworked, and you're auditing his software without putting in the effort to have actually built the software, to not know the struggles of that individual, and you're finding bugs in his code or her code, whatever, um, so that you might embarrass them as a person and produce a more secure product. And they say they're happy about it. They say, "Oh, I'm so thankful that you found this." But it's not it's not helpful to them as a person. It's helpful to them in that it exposes a potential problem, but when you're faced with giving a presentation that embarrasses a whole bunch of people and you're expected to do it every single time, it's a little grating on the soul. And they show you respect for what you've done because you were able to come in and compromise their security. And they feel like, oh wow, this is great and everything like that. But inside, it kind of crushes you a little bit. Like again, if you have a soul, there are lots of penetration testers without souls, lots of people without souls. Very strange world. But if you actually think about what you're doing, you're embarrassing a person. You're a glorified quality assurance specialist, and you come in and you say, "Look, your shit's all broken. Look, I was able to get into this. I was able to get into this. I was able to get into this." And you know that the moment you leave, some manager is going to go into some guy's office, and it might cost him his job. You have to be able to morally square that you're taking a paycheck off of benefiting a company and hurting an individual. If I could exist without having to do that, it would be fantastic. If I could have a website like this where my only crime is letting people yell at each other on the internet, oh, I would be so happy. Cuz this is just fun. This is people getting into heated arguments about the dumbest of all things. That is to me that would be the pinnacle of my achievements, and I've achieved quite a few things in the past. To be able to subsist as harmless, it would. I mean, it sounds kind of hippie, and I'm not a hippie at all. But I I don't want my job to be hurting people. Like if my job is hurting individual people, I don't know. Like like what's worse, a data breach or a guy that gets fired? And you would instantly say the data breach is much worse. But everybody in my house has had their information compromised, and it hasn't hurt any of them the same way it's hurt a person getting walked out of their home. And it's so stupid to say that because I know anybody who hears this in the future is going to be like, that is the stupidest thing ever. Don't you know they take that information and they use it for fraud and assorted other things which do hurt people more, and it's but you're not the one getting that guy in trouble. Like it's it's a painful thing to have to do that. Get a hotel room, go on site, enter the premises, compromise the network, and embarrass everyone there. And just because you're capable of it doesn't make you special. That's another thing. I hate this scene so much sometimes. The number of people who say they're elite, and they don't say it. They don't say I'm elite, but the way they present themselves, and even I've had to do it in the past. You have to present yourself as if, oh, you're just the best at this. I hate it. I hate it so much. I hate it deep in my soul because all it is code. All it is computer programming. That's all it is. If you're a great computer programmer, well, fantastic. Do a kickflip. Maybe I'll be impressed then. Like, I would trade all of the hackers in the world for about 17 skateboarders. It's kind of messed up to say, but I would. I was a skateboarder when I was young, and I really thought that the hacking scene would be similar to the skateboarding scene. But the difference is immense because skateboarding taxes you in a way that buckles your confidence, that doesn't allow for hiding, that costs you in blood and sweat. It takes. I mean, this isn't just for skateboarding. This is for a lot of things. It takes a proof and jots it down on the cement. But with software engineering, it's, or I guess penetration testing or hacking in general, it's a lot of guys hiding from each other because they don't want to get doxxed. Like they don't want to find themselves in a position where they're put on blast in embarrassing fashion by other people who are trying to compromise them. It makes these people extremely guarded. It makes them inauthentic to a fault, which is why if you go into hacker chat rooms, you'll often see people with really, really edgelord usernames and edgelord behaviors, and I am ultimately super guilty of doing the same thing. I am super guilty of trying to fit in those scenes because I thought, well, there's some bravado in the skateboarding scene too, right? You don't want to be a poser, and you learn, you can 360 flip, you can hard flip, can do backside methods above the coping and the half pipe, and yeah, you put it down. And hacking is the same thing. You go through the rungs, but it's not physical at all. Again, there's nothing paid in blood. There's no contract with the cement. But the whole process, the physical process of skateboarding, it builds character internally. Like it doesn't just build your body. It helps you with pain management. It helps you with the ability to deal with a potential tragedy. Like it helps you learn self-confidence in a way that is hard to understand for somebody who has only been banging their fingers on a keyboard. And the term keyboard warrior is a hilarious one, but I think a lot of the hacking scene is a lot of keyboard warriors. And that's not to say they're not talented, and that's not to say they're not incredibly capable and they couldn't just do things that would make a normal person just astounded in terms of their capability to process data. Well, process data into usable weaponry, I should say. But it's not the same. It doesn't generate the same type of person. So yeah, I don't really want to be a part of that. I don't really want to be a part of a scene where that type of person isn't there. Like I would honestly rather be part of a knitting or a crocheting group. I'd probably feel better internally. Anyway, so I'm done for tonight. I have nothing left to do. I have to go make more to dos, and I'll be back